Thank you so much for checking out my channel, Wildlife Coaching Solutions, where you'll be able to access simple solutions to help you successfully grow through your life challenges. I speak about self-confidence, enhancing your productivity, as well as mindset mastery and moving from fear to fearlessness. This week's video is all about distractions and how to minimize them. When we set goals for ourselves, when we have a to-do list, when we say we want to do something but we're not able to follow through with it, it's because of the distractions that are going unchecked in our lives. And what this does to the subconscious mind is that it trains it to say, I'm unable to successfully complete a task, even though there's so many things happening around us. But the good news about it is that even though there's distractions there, you can train your subconscious mind to be able to move away from those distractions so that you can focus on the goals. In this week's video, I'm talking about 10 uncommon ways to help you successfully grow through your challenges by minimizing the distractions in your life. The first tip that I have is do what you can do as soon as possible. Sometimes we are in the middle of doing our work and we get distracted by another task. And this may be something that you can do right away. So if it is something that you can do, you can go ahead and do it. And I say this because I don't really promote multitasking, but when you're at work sometimes, there are a lot of different things that are being put on your plate. So if there's something that you can do very quickly, get it done right away so that you're not going back to it and having to do it later. Or when you are completing a high value task that may require more work, you don't get distracted by it. My second tip is to visualize yourself, how you will feel and how you will look and what you will be doing after you have finished the task before you go into it. So if there is a goal or task or project that you're working on, before you get started with it, visualize how you will feel when it is over, because this is going to help you to increase your momentum as you carry through with the task, knowing that after this task is completed, I'm going to be engaging in this A or B, and it'll give you more of a drive and momentum to get it done. My third tip is to control the internal distractions. Now this one is very important because although there are distractions happening outside of us and around us, in many cases when you are working on a project and you're sitting at your desk or you're in the field, no matter what you're doing, there's something usually that goes through our mind and we say, oh, we should be doing something else, or I should be focused on another project, or I have something else to work on. And these are the internal distractions that I'm speaking about. Or you're around another person and they may be thinking negatively or speaking negatively, and this ultimately influences the way that you start thinking or feeling throughout the day. Or you have a bad encounter throughout your day and this now affects the way that you feel. So you want to be able to manage your internal distractions that are happening, and the best way to do that is to build that rapport with your subconscious mind, because that's where it starts first. And once you start taking the time to build that relationship with your subconscious mind and create that internal harmony, that's when you'll be able to do it automatically. So if there's a distraction that comes, an internal distraction that comes, or an external distraction that comes, you would have already trained your mind and put mechanisms in place so that you know how to deal with the distractions when it comes, how much time you're going to give to it, if any time at all. The fourth tip that I would suggest to deal with distractions is to skip what you don't know. Sometimes we spend a lot of time trying to figure out things that we don't know, and this is a time investment or a time waster depending on what it is. We don't know everything, and the part about it is that we can take the time to learn, but learning what we don't know is going to require some form of effort. So if there's something that you're working on and you realize I don't know what I'm doing, you can skip that for now and go back to it after you have completed the aspects of the job, the project, or the activity that you do know about. And if you are in that activity or project and it requires you to know it immediately, then finish up what you can on the following task and then go learn what you need to learn and bring it back so that you could complete it as whole. But sometimes a project or a task doesn't require you to know everything right away, but it does require the time invested in it so you can do what you know how to do and then come back to the things that you don't know how to do, and you'll be able to add on to that later. So tip number 5 is to manage the momentum that you have in your day. I speak about high value projects, high value activities. So what you want to focus on doing is when you have that high momentum or that energy throughout your day, spend that time working on the tasks that you are required to invest more time in, because you have the momentum and the energy to do that. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be at the start of your day or the end of your day, as it's suggested sometimes that you should start your major task at the beginning of the day, but it's whenever you have that energy. Maybe it's in the afternoon, maybe it's in the morning, but whenever you're feeling a high momentum, that's a good time to align it with a high value activity, high value project, because you'll be able to focus that time on it and complete it to the end. Tip number 6 is to have an accountability partner. Now, for some people, you get distracted very easily. You're not able to stay focused. You set a goal, you get distracted, you move away from it. And for individuals like that, you should definitely consider having an accountability partner, because this person is going to be able to check in with you, see what you're doing, what you're working on, and how they can help to enhance that so that you follow all the way through. Distractions ultimately disable you from being able to follow through, and follow through is the most important thing. Setting a goal is great, but completing the goal is even better, but it requires your investment and your time to follow through with each activity and sub-activity in order to get it done. So if you find yourself very easily distracted, and you also spent the time to work on your subconscious mind, but you're finding that no matter what you're doing, you're getting distracted as well, this is prime time for you to invest your money and your time in an accountability partner, because it's going to help to really elevate your productivity, elevate your ability to accomplish your goals as well. So I said invest your time and money in an accountability partner, because sometimes you may have individuals that you want to consider your accountability partner, and they may be your friend or a family member, but you find out that they may be distracted as well, and that's going to prevent you from meeting the ultimate goal, which is moving away from the distractions and enhancing your productivity as well. Tip number 7 is to have a clean work area. Wherever you're going to be working from, make sure that it's clean, because the clutter that's around you is going to influence your mindset and also distract you from being able to create in the best environment. Now, I know a lot of people might say, oh my gosh, the place is chaos, but I know where everything is. And to be honest, I was one of those individuals. I could work very well in my mess, but I started to clean my space and make sure it was decluttered, and my productivity has increased, and I'm able to work even better than I was before. So sometimes we don't know what we don't know. So make sure you have a clean environment, or take the time to clean that environment, because also every single time that you clean and throw away, declutter, remove and release any type of junk or things that you're not using, things that you don't need, things from your past, it actually helps to create space so that something new can come into your life. And this is not only for your workstation and decluttering, but this is also with goal setting and completing a task, completing an activity. Something else will come to replace it, and it will be in alignment with the things that you are setting goals towards or you want to achieve. So taking the 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on the state of your room or your state of your work area, to invest in decluttering and cleaning is going to definitely produce better results with your mindset, as well as with your overall productivity and your momentum that you feel in order to complete your goal, because you're organized, you know where things are, you know what you want to get done, you're feeling good about it, and you're feeling like you can accomplish the goal. So that's definitely going to help to shift not only your mindset, but as well as give you that drive to complete your goal. Tip number 8 that I would recommend is to have a notebook where you write down anything that comes up in your mind while you're working on another task, goal, or project. So sometimes you might find yourself working away, you're at your desk, or you're working on a project, you're doing an activity, and something comes to mind that you need to get done. And a good way to keep track of those things, and in most cases they're also going to be ideas about things that you want to work on, then what you'll do is just jot it down in your notebook, and when you have invested the time to review what you've been working on for the week, or you have some downtime or in between time throughout your day, you go back, you look at it and say, oh, is this something I want to work on? How can I work on it now? Where can I batch it? Where can I combine it? So you can find out how you can work on that during your day, so that you can also increase your productivity by, depending on the theme that you're operating on in the week. You may say, okay, well, this week is all about limiting the amount of distractions that I'm going to be dealing with throughout this week. So you will find the set time to read over those notes that you have jotted down about things that you need to do, and then you'll be able to schedule them depending on what you've already scheduled, and put them in your day so that you're not easily distracted by anything that pops up while you're working on it. And as I said before in the video, if it's something immediate that you need to do and it demands your time right away, then go ahead and do it. But you're the individual that's going to have to determine, is this thing really demanding my time right away, or is it just something that's trying to distract me from what I need to be scheduled on right now at this time? So you're the person that's going to be able to determine that. So make sure you set that boundary so that it cannot easily be broken. Tip number 9 adds on to that, and it's having a set time. So as I spoke about writing those things out in the notebook, having a set time where you're going to review that information can help to minimize the distractions. And the reason why it helps to have a set time, especially when you're growing through a challenge and the initial stages of it, is because you are not only setting that time for yourself, but you're setting that time so that other people can see that as a boundary. For example, if you find that by 5 o'clock each day you're working on a goal, people are going to know Mara's time is not available at 5 o'clock each day, or 5 o'clock on Tuesdays or Friday, because she's working on another task. And that's what you want to establish for yourself, so that people can understand, this is very important for me and nothing else is more important, and it's not going to get in the way of what I need to do at that time. And this helps to set the tone, set boundaries, and also minimize those distractions that may try to come around this time. Because if a distraction does come up, you will say, because you've already trained your subconscious mind that working or reviewing or doing my assessment of my week is the most important focus right now, and your subconscious mind will definitely accept that command. And just before I get into the last point, I just wanted to reiterate that setting a command to yourself, giving your subconscious mind a command and it following through with it, is what discipline is all about. You're disciplining your subconscious mind, and that's why you focus on self-discipline, to help you successfully move through your challenges, move through your goals, because you have given your mind that discipline. But the thing about it is, your subconscious mind will listen to anything that you say, any command that you give it, and that's why the more specific you are about it, the greater the outcome is, as well as the more specific you are about it, the more that the subconscious mind starts working on finding ways to do it. So you always want to be conscious about what you're saying to your subconscious mind, how you're saying it to your subconscious mind, and checking in on it to follow through. And I'm going to make another video to speak more about that, the words and phrases that we say to ourselves and how this affects our subconscious mind. So if that's something that's going to be helpful for you, just leave a comment and let me know. And I'm going to go into the final tip that I have for helping to reduce the amount of distractions that come your way, and ultimately, as a result, enhance your productivity. The final tip for this video to help you minimize the amount of distractions that you're dealing with is to cut it short. Now, if you find yourself up against a distraction that you cannot get away from, and it's really taking your time, then you want to make sure to cut it short. You have to say what you have to say to get out of that distraction, move away from it, turn it off, shut it down, silence it, do whatever you need to do to cut the distraction short so that you don't continue to follow through with it and get carried away and your mind goes in a lot of different places. And cutting it short is going to help you to say, okay, this is really a distraction and I have to get back to what I'm doing, because you don't want to get so easily distracted, as it will take away the momentum that you have set for yourself while you're completing the task, as well as it'll just take up more time because you have to go back to it later, and it's just distractions just really prevent you from moving forward and enhancing your productivity, as well as even taking action. But as I said, it's great to take action, but following through is important as well, and that's what's going to help to give that repetitive action as well as the momentum to continue to move forward. So I hope this video was helpful for anyone who's experiencing a challenging, defining moment. And I am definitely going to be making more videos like this about how to successfully move through your challenging, defining moment. If there's anything that you would like to see on this channel related to these topics, please leave a comment and let me know. So remember to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and share this video with anyone who it may be helpful for. And check out next week's video where I'll be speaking about